So today's worksheet and lesson, we're going to be looking at solving equations. And again, I'm only going to ask for you to pick like 5 off this page to do. I'm going to go ahead, number 6 kind of looks like a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do number 6 for you so we can go through that process of how do we solve equations. So it is 3 open parentheses, x plus 4 close parentheses, minus 6x equals 2, open parentheses, 4 minus 2x. And so the first thing we always need to do when we solve equations is we need to draw a line down the equal sign. The next thing is we want to change all of our subtraction to add the opposite. So those are step 1 and step 2. From here we want to apply the distributive property. That's when you have a number outside the parentheses. So we're going to take the 3 times everything inside the parentheses, which is 3 times 1 was just 3x, and 3 times 4 is 12. And you can bring everything else straight down. So we took care of that parenthesis and distributive property. That's on the left-hand side. Now let's look at the right-hand side. We want to make sure we distribute the 2 to everything. So 2 times 4 is 8 plus 2 times a negative 2 would be a negative 4x. And so now that we have applied the distributive property, our next step is, do we have any like terms on the same side of the equation? If you look at the left side, we have a 3x and a negative 6x. Those are like terms. We can add those together. A positive 3 and a negative 6 would be a negative 3x. Bring down your plus 12 equals, and we don't have any like terms on the right-hand side, so we just bring everything down. So now we're ready to start moving. And when we move, we want to get our x's together, and then we want to move and get our numbers together. So let's go ahead and move my negative 4x. The opposite of a negative 4x would be add 4x. Whatever we do to one side of our equation, we want to make sure we do to the other to keep it balanced. And now we have a negative 3x plus 4x, which is just a positive 1x. Bring down your plus 12, and that equals 8. And to get the x all by itself, we want to subtract 12 from both sides. The opposite of a positive 12 is a takeaway 12. And we're left with x equals a negative 4. And you have isolated the variable, the letter x, all by itself, and you've solved for it. That's a pretty intense problem. Problem 1, 2, 3, and 4 are a little simpler. As well as, remember, all I'm asking is for you to attempt 5 problems on this page. So I just did 1 for you. Now you need to pick 5 to do. Let's go ahead and look at the bottom of the page real quick. And here it's asking us to actually write out the equation. So I'm going to go ahead and look at number 10. 10 more than. So 10 more than means addition. 6 times Harold's age. So 6 times x. We'll say x is Harold's age. Is the same as, that's going to be your equal sign. 4 times his age. We don't know his age. It's still x. So 4 times x is increased, add 40. And so looking at these words, the number 10 I wrote out, more than means addition. 6 times, is that 6x? We don't know what his age is, so that's where we have to put a variable in. Is the same as is your equal sign. And again, another 4 times, increased by, meaning addition, and 40. So being able to write out the linear equations. Again, please just pick 5 problems off this page. I went ahead and wrote this one out for you. You could go ahead and solve it if you'd like. That's all I've got, solving equations.